Hey, I'm Joel with Power Stance Import Export, and thanks for checking this video out. This vehicle is for sale. Unless the title of the video says sold, this vehicle is available today. So any questions about these vehicles or any other vehicles we have listed, you can find us online at powerstanceimport.com, or you can reach me directly at the number listed above. Also, our Facebook and Instagram page are Power Stance Import Export, and also the same name goes for this YouTube channel. We're a licensed used car dealer located right here in Oxford, Michigan, and we specialize in Land Rover Defenders. Thanks for watching. Hey folks, and up for sale today I've got a nice budget-friendly little 2000 Defender 110 Td5 in Coniston green. Now this is a UK import, so it is right-hand drive. It's now located here in Michigan and comes with a clean, clear Michigan title. So let me walk you around the vehicle. I'll show you the inside, the outside, the underside, and we'll take it for a test ride as well. So if any of you have watched my friend Maria, her channel on YouTube is Roaming Reckless. This is basically the younger brother to her vehicle. Exactly the same spec. It's a special vehicles build, and it was originally in Coniston green. Her vehicle got the NATO green treatment after it went to wherever it was going to serve, and got the Raven badges on the doors. But basically they're both the same vehicle. This one is the Td5. Now let me go over all the really good bits on this vehicle before we get to the not so good bits. All right, so this is the Td5 motor, super clean, runs fantastic. This is the 18P variant. As you can see, no leaking. The valve covers, hoses, water pump, all looks good. Intake side, super clean, no leaks out of there. All right, and then the chassis is in very good condition. Only welds are on the back here where the new rear cross member was welded on, but the rest of the vehicle super clean. I mean, those center outriggers look brand new. And then it's low mileage. It's only got 110,000 miles on the clock. So a couple really good things going for it. Low mileage, great Td5 motor, really clean chassis, and paint job is not too bad. And when I say not too bad, I say this paint job's probably a 3 out of 10. And the only reason it gets 3 points is because, you know, from a few feet away it looks great. Nice and clean, glossy, shiny paint. But it was done by somebody who didn't really take a lot of pride in their work. So the bulkhead corners have been repaired. Not great, and there's a little bit of a bubble here where it's not super flat. And then they've got Bondo all over the hinges. If you want to adjust this door, you have to like crack the paint. So bulkhead, not the greatest shape. It's been repaired. So you got a couple options with the bulkhead here. I mean, the biggest, hardest, most expensive option is complete replacement of the bulkhead. Or you grind this all down and repair it the right way, or you leave it as is. It's not bad, and that's why this is my cheapest vehicle at the moment, because of that right there. But looking at the bulkhead from the inside, it's not bad. That's all factory paint. But then right here, there's all sorts of really sticky rust preventative material there. And on the back side here, that same stuff is in here. So bulkhead does have some rust, and it's not in the best shape. I mean, that's all factory paint there on the footwells, but it does have some rust, and so it's been treated, but not perfectly. All right, moving around on the driver's side here, doors aren't too bad actually. little bit of corrosion here, and this is another part of the paint job. You can see the paint is cracked. So they just painted over top of the corrosion. They didn't fix it. So the paint failed. A little bit of a filler repair here on the door bottoms, but again, they're not too bad. They're in decent shape. They've just been repaired poorly. Cappings, there's a little bit of rust on the cappings. Now the nice thing is, this part you can just pop the rivets off and you can put a galvanized piece on here, and it looks sweet. Galvanized on top of Coniston green looks really cool. So again, you can leave it as is, or you could pop this off, put a galvanized piece on, or paint it. But the easiest way, I think, would just be galvanized. In the back here, we do have a swing away tire carrier, which again, super easy to use. You just actually pull that pin there, and then this swings all the way open. There's a little chain that stops it from hitting the corner. And in the back here, the rear cross member is in beautiful shape. Another good part of this vehicle. But then you can see here, they just painted over top of the corrosion and the paint just all cracked. So this door will have to be repainted, or again, leave it as is. This is a great running vehicle and it works fine as is. It's just got some cosmetic issues. Poor little guy. All right, in the back here, there's just plywood, no carpet, no vinyl, nothing like that. Wide open back here, tons of space for activities. Not much to see back here. Adjustable hitch, basic door card on the back. Same deal here. This corrosion right here was just painted over, and then the paint failed. So that'll have to be addressed or left as is. All right, pretty blank canvas here. The cool thing about these three doors is there's plenty of space here. You could put a huge logo right there, or you could pop windows in. Windows are a couple $100 and you can just cut a hole and put windows in there. Pretty easy to do. Now the cappings on the draw passenger side are in great shape. No rust there at all. A little bit of corrosion right there underneath here, but these panels are in pretty decent shape. All the spot welds are in place here, so no body filler in the corners. Beautiful set of 5-spoke Defender Boost alloys. About 50% tread left on these BFG mud terrains. Pretty decent tire. And again, the chassis is in beautiful shape. You can tell, like, this hasn't been caked in mud. And actually has a couple coatings of paint on here. You can see that gray paint. That might have been military primer, I don't know exactly, but rear cross member is in beautiful shape. Chassis looking really good. And we'll get underneath the vehicle later. A couple parts like this window seal. This needs to be replaced. A super cheap part. You don't even need tools. You just pull this off and push the new one back on. You know, again, the paint job, not the greatest. They just painted over top of this seal. But the passenger door, not bad. A little bit of rust here, but pretty decent shape. Almost fell. Original vinyl seat box covers. It does have a battery shut off, which is cool. Vinyl seats, you can just hose these things off, which is nice. Dashboard, pretty basic. And again, there's a little bit of rust popping through the bulkhead here. A little bit under here. But the footwells from the underside are actually in pretty decent shape. You can see right there, that's all real good factory metal there. And then there's your front outriggers, beautiful shape. So the chassis, again, really good shape. Bottom of the footwell's pretty decent, and the top of the footwells as well. That's all factory paint there. Just some rust there on the bottom of the heater box mounting bracket, and then some rust proofing there. So this corner, I believe, has been repaired as well. It's got the same treatment here on the hinge, some Bondo stuck the hinge to the pillar there, which is not ideal if you want to adjust the hinge. So that'll have to be cut, unfortunately. Window seal, a windscreen seal, a little bit weathered. That could be replaced as well. Front vents are in good shape. Bonnet is in beautiful shape. No dents in the bonnet, no rust there as well. Front grille, great shape. And this is all new paint, newer, I'd say 4 or 5 years old. So it's in pretty decent shape. There's just a couple little spots where the paint has failed. All right, here's your VIN tag. Go ahead and pause that if you want to check it out. So all in all, real good running truck, low miles, clean chassis, just needs cosmetic love, unfortunately. All right, so she does hesitate a little bit when it's cold, but then, so not a super quick startup, but once it's warm, it runs great. All right, there's your Td5 and no smoke out of the tailpipe. So let's get underneath it and then we'll take it for a test ride. All right, so let's check out the underside here. Starting in the rear, we do have a Land Rover OEM exhaust, which is nice. And looking at the rear chassis here, I think this is in really good condition. It looks rough because of all the flaky paint and stuff, but you can see this is where they normally get rusty, and they're in very solid condition. Just some flakiness of the paint on here, and you can see there's actually a couple different coats. I don't think this is galvanized because there's a little bit of rust on here. So I think this is like a gray primer, and then a black paint on top of that. So it's had a couple coats of paint, but it's in really good shape. New brake calipers. The dust covers are in place. Brake rotors look nice and clean. Shocks and springs are all good. I do feel a little bit of a clunk in the shift, so I'm guessing that A-frame ball joint needs to be changed. That looks original. No leaking out of the rear axle fill plug, and then again, brakes on both sides have been done recently. Okay, here we are on the driver's side. There's your first fuel filter. Rear control arm bushings look great, and again, I mean, look at how clean these center outriggers are. I've seen these completely rusted out before, and sometimes they're not like this. They're just beautiful shape. There's your muffler, drive shaft, small leak out of the pinion seal there. And moving along here, there's your center diff, parking brake, and the chassis and your front outriggers. Okay, here we are on the passenger side. Bushings look great. Middle outriggers look fantastic. Battery box looks good as well. Tiny little bit of paint chips, but battery box looks to be in really good shape. Front outriggers. There's your exhaust pipe. That looks pretty good. Front axle. There's your gearbox. On the bottom of the motor, front axle. Okay, and here we are up front. Beautiful looking swivel seals on the driver's side. Shocks and springs look really good. This is your steering drop arm ball joint. That looks pretty solid. And you can see the boot on the tie rod end looks good. Swivel seal on passenger side looks great as well. There's your shocks and springs there. There's the bottom of the motor. Looks pretty clean. And then here's your front axle. dry, nothing leaking out of there. So bottom of this chassis looks fantastic. Actually, I don't see any clumps of dirt stuck anywhere, so I don't think this vehicle was ever really used heavily off-road, which is nice. Dumb irons look great as well. Very clean looking underside. Okay, so let's take her for a rip down the road, go through all the gear changes and all that good stuff, and show you what she can do. I believe this might have a stage 1 remap. It runs really good, maybe a little bit more than factory, so it's a very tasteful remap. No smoke out of the tailpipe, so it was done correctly. And again, beautiful chassis, beautiful engine, great running truck. Let's see what she can do. All right, so there's first gear, second gear, third gear, and pulls quite nicely. That's 35 miles an hour, and we're going uphill, and I'll just give it the beans, and it just pulls uphill, no problem. That's 45. That's 50 miles an hour. And that's 60. No problem. Steering's nice and tight. And we'll go ahead and get on the brakes hard here. And again, the brakes in the rear are new. No pulling right or left, no squeaking, no vibrations. So let's go through the gears again. First gear, second gear. All right, there's a tiny little bit of black smoke when it's on full throttle, which is expected on a diesel. But other than that, she runs really clean. And yeah, when you put it down, it takes off. That's 55, 60 miles an hour, no problem. Yeah. Take this corner at speed here. All right, yeah, she runs great. Temperature's holding right there in the middle. And that's the video, folks. So any questions, leave a comment, give us a call. Happy to answer any questions you have, and get yourself a real good deal. Thanks for watching. All right, just for giggles, let's do a quick 0 to 60 in our heads here. Let's just start counting. All right, here we go. 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10,000, 11,000, 12. I mean, that's 12 seconds maybe. Not too bad.